So today, in this video, we'll describe in a very basic way how OI analysis functions and how we can evaluate market movement. We'll try to figure out where the market could head next and how it may behave. Traders who use options usually recognize some common patterns. But before we continue, if you think this content adds value, hit that like button, and if you're visiting for the first time, remember to subscribe and enable notifications so you won't miss our newest uploads. I'll meet you right after the intro and disclaimer. Suppose you're trading. After a gap up early during the session, the market displayed sideways action. How can you take advantage of this? We'll observe the OI data and explain it in a very straightforward manner. You'll notice that the market is stuck within a zone, meaning the movement appears range-bound. Now, how do we monitor all these elements? You'll need to apply your own thinking. These abilities improve gradually over time. So, simply access the OI chart. You'll notice several red and green bars here. The green bar signals put sellers, and the red bar identifies call sellers. If I observe at this point, where can we spot the largest red bar? You're able to view the largest red bar at the 51,000 strike, which indicates the strongest put sellers are positioned around the 51,000 level. This analysis applies primarily to intraday. So now we must understand that the chances of dropping below 51,000 remain low because numerous put sellers are active there, and they'll resist allowing their positions to suffer. We must also check whether put sellers exit rapidly, as that can create strong momentum downward. How can we determine this? This can be known through the shift in OI. How will we detect that shift? When you notice the green bar in the morning trending downward, it's falling below zero. This is the position here, $336,000. The OI volume has reduced on the call side since the seller intends to avoid damage. So he withdraws his exposure. Meaning, what will he do? He'll enter the market and purchase, and that's why earlier this morning you noticed pushing upward. Why did this occur? Because the call seller trimmed his position. If the seller was initially losing and later cut his position due to the gap up, then this suggests the market might attempt to build momentum. When will it fall? At the moment, we can observe that 51,200 is a zone where additions are appearing in both calls and puts. Meaning, now support and resistance sit around the 51,200 mark. If the market dips under 51,200, then the support responds. Around 51,200, we won't allow the market to break down easily and will attempt to push price upward. If price slips, then this marking behaves as support. If price rises above 51,200, then we won't allow it to stretch too far and will pull it downward again. Now, if you evaluate the chart, it is reacting similarly. The market rises, crosses 51,200, returns lower, and then pushes upward again. How long will this oscillation continue? It will continue until we receive a clear break. Now, why do we lack clarity? Because here you can notice that if we view this perspective, the market faces resistance. It's becoming challenging to push beyond 51,200, and several red bars exist here. Now, where is the largest red bar? Around 52,000. So now if a trap forms in the market, I'm mentioning these scenarios. This happens only when such a trap sets in. Then you'll witness alteration here. Their holdings may get reduced. The red bar may shrink. It might even drop into negative territory. What does negative imply? Right now, there are call sellers stationed with around $2 million quantity. So, the $2 million quantity can only exit when large momentum arrives. If reductions begin or quantity decreases and the green bar increases, then you receive indication that support is strengthening and resistance weakening. The market can lift upward. If you interpret OI this way, then it becomes highly beneficial. What am I noticing now? I am viewing a definite sideways phase. Why is that visible? Because both support and resistance are powerful and neither side is willing to shift. And what are you witnessing additionally? At present, resistance is developing around 51,200. There is supply near 51,300 as well, and heavy resistance near 51,500. The highest resistance stands there, which becomes slightly concerning. If there is variation at that point, price could dip moderately. But if we analyze the broader outlook, the market may attempt moving toward 52,000. However, The probability of falling lower becomes limited because the underlying support turns stronger, and the movement stays range-bound, so this expresses how OI is interpreted. Similarly, we analyze, and the strongest support is visible around 25,000, meaning the market holds a smaller chance of dropping beneath 25,000 because the largest green bar appears here. There is additional support below that level as well, but if you examine the red bars on the upper range, the strongest resistance is now forming around 25,500. If attempts to rise, then the biggest resistance emerges at 25,500, but the likelihood of falling downward remains lower because the green bars appear stronger, meaning the support feels firm while the resistance looks slightly weaker. This is the graphical representation visible. Next, you should monitor the 25,500 level where the strongest resistance builds. If plans to push higher, then this barrier stands around 25,500, and the chances of falling further downward remain quite low. So now you observe that quantities are being reduced in the market, allowing possible upward movement, and the major shift today shows the highest quantity of put sellers getting added. If they purchase puts, then price can move downward. But from this point the upward force seems positive. So now you can consider adding a call around the 25,300 level, meaning the market could attempt pushing higher. This needs to be watched attentively. That's it, traders. Thanks for viewing this video. Everyone aims for perfection, but real growth comes from getting better every single day. If this video shifted your perspective or helped you level up, go ahead and tap that like button. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what's next. Don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. Build momentum with what you've got right now. Stay hungry, stay improving, and keep pushing past your limits. I'll see you in the next video.